My name is Ken Lamro. I'm the owner-operator of Lamro Landing. For me, this is a hobby side business that I have here at Lamro Landing. I have my own beehives. I have my own little fruit orchards, things that I'm starting off with, blueberry plants, blackberry plants, got a few fruit trees. I have some chickens out here that I raise for my own eggs. For me, I do all my own gardening and vegetables. I use heirloom seeds. That's one thing I'm going back to heirloom growing, where I grow my seeds, save the seeds at the end of the garden cycle where I don't have to buy new seeds. I'm trying to avoid getting into the genetically modified seeds out there, trying to source my seeds at reputable people. Maple season begins roughly around February. I guess it depends upon where you live in the nation, different zones. But for here in north central West Virginia, basically I can start tapping trees when the temperature is above freezing during the day and below freezing during the night. During the summer, I had a friend of mine come out who's more of a forester, and he helped me mark all my classify all my trees, from red maples, the silver maples, the sugar maples. So being this time of the year, I can't I can't classify them by the bark or anything. But so what I've done is we had marked all the trees. So this time of the year, when it's warmer and I can't actually tap them, I know exactly what trees I have to go to. So just makes it a little easier for me. The paint's not going to hurt the trees, but we should be good. So for this first tree last year, you want to at least tap these 2 feet from the ground here. This is my last tap mark from last year. You want to tap the tree at least 6 inches away from where you tapped that last time. Help me gauge my jug. Got clean milk jugs, rinsed and sanitized them all. So toes there, so right about here. So what I want to do is I got it marked about 2 inches from the edge of the bit. So you don't want to go any too farther than that. That's the sap layer of the tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill in a slight angle up to about where my tape line is here. Don't want to go any further than that. And then the spile should fit directly right in there. Just give it a little press. And then with warmer days, maple sap flows when the weather is above freezing during the day, which is before 32 degrees is above us freezing. So above freezing and below freezing at night. It's just the cycle that makes the sap flow within the tree. Maple season's a short time of the year. You only have about 4 to 6 weeks. See, we're actually getting the maple water is already flowing into my collection container. So this is a process. This is where it all starts, is the beginning of making your own maple syrup. I think our high has been only up in the 20s for the last few weeks, and it's just been haven't been able to do any collection because the sap's hasn't flowed at all. So we might be a lot shorter in production this year. Luckily, it's just for our home use. We'll press on. We got some warmer days coming, and hopefully we'll have a pretty strong sap flow and make up for it. These last few weeks, it's actually been really bad for the maple sap flow. But my other concern I have is my bees. I have 7 hives that I'm trying to overwinter, and this cold weather's putting a hurt on those also. I lost 5 hives last winter, and very costly. So hopefully this year they'll be able to survive and make it through the cold weather and be able to provide a honey harvest for us also. I've stuck my ear to the back of the hives, and they've They seem to be buzzing along inside there, which is good. I mean, I haven't heard anything that's like no sounds at all, but I think some buzzing inside there's better than nothing, so I'll take that, and hopefully the weather warm and we'll be able to have 7 surviving hives this winter, which will be a first for us. So after all the collecting of every day of the sap here, what I usually do is I store it in these 5-gallon buckets here until I have a large amount of sap to get ready for the cook down phase. Today we're cooking down 85 gallons of maple sap that will hopefully get cooked down to maybe about 1.5 gallons at least of pure maple syrup here. Inside here is our stainless steel evaporator pan. In evaporator pan, this is where we cook down the maple sap to become maple syrup. And below this pan here is a firebox. It's probably about a 1.5 feet deep, as wide as the pan itself in there. In the firebox, we constantly stock firewood in there. The firewood, as it combusts and burns, we keep it so packed of wood in there that more square area of fires inside the box, the hotter it burns there. If the hotter it is, the more steam it produces, it boils down. So from the evaporator pan, we go to the preheater pan. It's made of stainless steel also. It doesn't affect the flavor of the maple water that's inside of there as it's heating up. From this preheater here, I have a valve. What this allows me is to constantly add moisture, add the maple water to the pan, and it's at the same temperature here. So basically I'm not going to lose the boil inside the pan as I'm heating up here. So from this pan here, I'll just open the valve and then slowly trickle and monitor. I can monitor how much product's going into the pan and as it's cooking down. Next to the preheater, I just have a warming pot. This pot here is what I'll utilize to put the maple water in initially, and it's just a process. I'll fill this pot here, put it into the preheater. From the preheater, I'll use the preheater to fill this pan here, and then when I'm out of maple water, I'll remove this pan here. When this is empty, I'll remove this off the heater, and then we'll just cook this down to a closer workable product in the end that I can take inside and finish it off on the stove. From here, we're going to be cooking down to get the maple syrup cooked to the final Brix content, which is about 60. I've already done an initial filter on this for any kind of sediments or that was in the pan. So we've already filtered it through the filter bags once and brought it back here. Now we're just cooking it down. So what I'm looking to do is just keeping it from overcooking down, as I really don't want to cook it down too far, just monitoring the cooking process. For here, I'm going to be testing it multiple times using the test cup and the maple hydrometer that tests the Brix content. From here, we're looking for 60 Brix. Brix content is the sugar content. You're going to constantly test the syrup. It may be when you start off at about 45% Brix, but you just give some time, keep testing it. We're talking maybe minutes, depending upon how much you have to cook down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the test cup, and being careful because we don't want to spill this outside of the pot because it is sticky and it's hot. Slowly pour it into the test cup here using a ladle. So it reaches about the top of the test cup here. And then I'm going to take another bowl for overspillage here. And we're going to set the test cup with the hot syrup in there. And then I'm going to take the clean hydrometer, making sure that the tip's not broken. And we're going to slowly drop it down in. And then release it. Fortunately, we're at 60 Brix. Our syrup is done. We can go ahead and turn the pot off, and then we're going to move forward to the next stage, which is the final filtering and then the bottling process. We've already cooked down our maple syrup when it's at 60 Brix. All it's left to do is the final filtering of it, and then we'll have to put it in some clean sterile jars. We'll move from there. For the filtering, We use these filters here. It's about an oversized coffee filter here. Probably need a few of them to get all the final sugar sands and everything else out of your syrup, finished syrup here. So because basically we want a clear product in the end. It's a little darker here, but that's just the greatest syrup, but we're just trying to keep all the sediment that's out of there. So being very careful that this is very hot. Maple syrup, when it's cooked down, when it's about 60 bricks, is about 219 degrees. Water boils at 212, so you want to make sure that you don't burn yourself. So carefully, we're going to ladle it through the filter into a clean pot, which I have in the sink here. Slow process, but we don't want to waste any of this maple syrup that we've spent hours and hours cooking down and getting ready to this final product. Alright, we've done our final filtering process. Now it's time to can it away. So what we're going to do is we got a nice hot pint mason jar. Just took it out of the water canner, got our canning funnel in here, and we're going to slowly put our syrup in here. We want to fill our maple syrup right to the line at the bottom of the canning funnel itself. That's a good level for here. Just about there. Let's go ahead and take our funnel off of here. And in normal canning practices, we're going to go ahead and wipe our rim off. That way we get a good seal of the canning lid. Take your canning wand, get a hot, clean lid. I'm going to put a band on and seal it up. And that there is homemade maple syrup.